Hey, it's Doc Jen, Doctor of Physical Therapy, and I want to talk about the side lunge because I hear a lot of complaining with either knee pain or back pain when trying to do a proper side lunge. So let's break down the form and show you what to actually do to maximize those glute gains, get into that hip dominant movement, and stay out of so much knee tension or back motion. So first of all, when we're talking about a side lunge, what ends up happening a lot of the time is that the back comes forward to save the knee. So what we end up doing and what I end up seeing a lot is a forward fold over the leg. And then this keeps my knee back, so it's not going forward as much. And people think I'm staying out of my knee, so must be working my hip more. However, what's really happening as I come down and forward, I have to get back up. And because I'm rounding down, I must lift then from my back and then my leg pushes. So I'm actually not getting that much out of my hip. I'm getting more out of my low back. So if your goal and intention is to work on your low back for a side lunge, that might be your option. But there are better ways to work on your back strength than in a side lunge. So let's cut that one out. Next issue that I see a lot is that people end up having their knee come into the side, keeping the chest up a little too tall, allowing that knee to fall in and forward as you come into that lunge. Maybe the heel lifts sometimes, and it puts a lot of tension and torque on that knee as it falls to the inside of that big toe. We don't want that either. That's just going to put a lot of unnecessary tension and torque on a knee that otherwise wants to stay in line with that ankle and hip as you're doing these lunges. So here is my trick for you, and it works almost every time. People are so surprised. What you're going to do is take your hand on your hip, and you're going to guide this hip back. The other arm is going to come out in front of you as you lunge. So it's going to look like this. My hip comes back, and as I lunge, I'm going to guide this hip back, back, back. Don't worry about the rotation that you're feeling in your trunk. That's normal because I still am keeping my trunk up. I'm not rounding or forward folding over my leg, and I'm reaching with the opposite arm. Now, what I'm doing here is I'm getting a ton of stretch into my hip and into my glute, and I'm able to sink down into a much lower hip mobility place, stretching and elongating that glute. So when I press off, this is the glute that's going to be working. So I get so much more work and power in my hip and glute without putting so much tension on my knee and without rounding through the low back. So again, let's go over that. This hip is going to pull back. So as I lunge out to the side, my hip pulls back. I reach long. I'm keeping my chest up, press off, and come up. And what you want to notice if you are going in true good alignment here, as my hip comes back, my nose, knee, and big toe are all in alignment here, and I come out. Also, you'll be able to sink lower to again get more out of that hip and glute. And last thing, if you have weights, you're like, what do I do if I want to add load? You can either start with one weight on the inside, keep this hand on the outside, and bring it to the midfoot until you master this movement. Then you can drop two weights into your hand, or you can even hold it up like a goblet. But the entire time my hip comes back, I keep my chest and I slightly rotate into that leg so that I get a stretch into my glute. And again, keep my knee feeling good and my low back feeling good. Try that out. Let me know what you think in the comments and see what it feels like within your body. Don't forget, if you love what you're learning, I have so much more in stock for you. So hit that subscribe button, check out the other videos I've done in the past, and leave any comments of any suggestions that you have for videos in the future. And I can't wait to help you feel incredible and amazing within your body.